Everybody, so in this video we're going to be comparing Modern Warfare 2 2022 with Call of Duty Vanguard. Now you also have to remember that I'm basing my impressions and conclusions on the Modern Warfare 2 beta, which is just finishing as I'm recording this video, and I was playing on my Xbox Series S this weekend and played on the PlayStation 4 the previous weekend. Big Call of Duty fan, well I am, and you know, straight off the bat, I've got to say, I didn't like Call of Duty Vanguard very much. I felt that it was a massive missed opportunity, and I really liked Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, and I really liked Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War as well. And I've got to say, straight away, the funness of playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 2022 is much higher than Vanguard. This is a fun game to play, and it feels like your tactical decisions that you make as you're playing Modern Warfare 2 do really affect how the gameplay goes. And I felt the problem with Vanguard, its main problem was the tactical pacing that they brought in, which, if you weren't aware of it, meant that you could have different number of players on the map. So the idea was you could choose to have really hectic maps with sort of 10v10s and more, or you could have quieter maps. But often what would happen is, if you wanted to get a game, you would just say any pacing at all, and it would always seem like the pacing, the number of players on the map, would always be wrong. So on the big maps, which should have been 10v10 or more, you'd end up with 7v7, and on the smaller maps, you'd end up with sort of 10v10s and 12v12s, and it would be absolute chaos. So all that would happen is you would start firing your gun in one direction and just get shot immediately from another direction by somebody else. Vanguard had an awful lot going for it, I think. You know, the gunplay was pretty good, the time to kill was all right. The maps, most of the maps were half decent, and they looked okay. There was some dodgy ones, like the ones in the hotel from the beta. The ones like the Pacific one and the ones in Berlin kind of were okay, and it was set in World War II, which I think is always a great location for a Call of Duty. It's just that they haven't really managed to get it right since World at War, have they really? When you think about Call of Duty World War II, I've had an amazing campaign, I think, but the multiplayer was crippled by the fact that the maps were too small. I think the time to kill was probably too fast as well. So, if you were disappointed with Vanguard, I think that Modern Warfare 2 2022 is probably going to be your cup of tea if you are a Call of Duty player, especially if you enjoyed Modern Warfare 1 back in 2019. Now, Modern Warfare 2 is a little bit faster. The movement feels a little bit faster now. We have the slide and we have the dolphin dive as well than Modern Warfare 2019, but it's not quite as fast, I don't think, as Vanguard, so it feels more tactical. And as I alluded to start off with, what I really enjoy is that I feel that when you're playing a game, in this case Domination, and you make a decision to play in a certain way, you know, I'm going to go this way because I think the enemy's over there and I'm going to do this, you will be rewarded for that thoughtful type of gunplay and gameplay, rather than just running around like a headless chicken, like I felt that most of the time you had to do in Vanguard, just to stay away from people coming from behind you and flanking you all the time. The problem we have at the moment with Modern Warfare 2 is that the maps that were included in the beta weren't very inspiring, you know. Even I think the Vanguard maps that we had in the beta, like the Pacific map, you know, that was quite an impressive looking map. But I thought it looked pretty good. But we've had nothing like that in the beta. And you tend to show your best maps in the beta. So the thing I'm worried about for the full launch of Modern Warfare 2 is the fact that the maps may well be a little bit disappointing compared to even Vanguard, and definitely compared to Modern Warfare 2019. For me, this is kind of, you know, almost like a last chance for Modern Warfare. I mean, and Call of Duty. I mean, the good thing, he says, inverted commas, is that in theory, this Call of Duty will be the only one for 2 years. So if things aren't quite right at launch, we're going to see the Infinity Ward and undoubtedly the other Call of Duty studios being able to pitch in to improve the game over time. A bit like Battlefield 2042 has kind of been redeemed a little bit as it moves forward, and so there is a chance for it. If I hadn't really started to enjoy this beta at the end of it, which I kind of started to do, I wasn't probably going to buy this Call of Duty. I was like, no, I'm going to stick with DayZ, I'm going to stick with PUBG, I'm going to stick with Hell Let Loose, even Battlefield 2042, and play older CODs. You know, I'm not going to invest the time that you need to get good, because you do need to, you know, invest a lot of time, don't you, in Call of Duty to get good at it. But after playing it for, you know, several hours, I've got to say, I think that Modern Warfare 2 is significantly better than Vanguard. Feels like a good COD. I'm just fingers crossed that we're going to have decent maps on launch. I know that isn't really a good way of doing things. And I, for one, I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully Call of Duty will be redeemed, and then we'll have this 2-year cycle where they can bring out new maps and work up towards whatever the next Call of Duty will be, and then, you know, we're going to have something special again, and then hopefully by then Activision will be owned by Microsoft, and Microsoft will be like, money is no option, make the Call of Duty that you've always wanted to, and they'll say that to Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Sledgehammer, and that would be very exciting indeed. Anyway, I'll leave you with the gameplay. What do you think? Put your questions and comments down below, and of course I'll see you again soon.